New York City. Somebody is definitely not telling the truth about Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. That's about the only thing that we can report with certainty this afternoon as the search for the missing jumbo jet enters day 5, 121 hours since it last pinged. A Malaysian military general now denies that he ever said what he actually said, that the plane flew hundreds of miles off course. He did say it. The Associated Press reports it independently confirmed his comments with not one but a number of top military officials. And that's but one of the many contradictory statements that the agonizing family members crying in incompetence or even a cover-up. This all started when a jet dropped off the radar screen early Saturday morning in Malaysia, this one. And it happened right here. It had gone from here, was flying in that direction, and it dropped off the radar right there. That's when it stopped pinging when going from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. It disappeared over the Gulf of Thailand. That was the first report we got. By Sunday, a full-scale search was underway around the place where they lost the plane. In this whole red circle here, huge area, some 40 ships, 40 planes, couldn't find a single trace of it. Then on Monday, officials surprised a lot of people when they expanded the search, not just in the red area here, but all of this. They never said why. Started searching hundreds of miles from where they said the plane went missing. But they didn't explain why they're over here all of a sudden in limited numbers, an area where the plane never should have been. We got our first explanation for that yesterday when that Malaysian military general was quoted as saying radar showed the plane essentially making this U-turn about which we've been reporting for a couple of days, all without any word from the pilots to explain why it would make such a U-turn. Hundreds of miles they said it flied. He said it happened after the plane's transponders went dark, raising the possibility that somebody turned them off on purpose. That would explain why searchers switched focus to this other area over here, far from the area where the plane should have been. Which brings us to today, and a bizarre backtrack from the Malaysian military. The general says he was misquoted. But as I mentioned, the AP reports it had confirmed his claim with other top officials. And now an Air Force chief says there's no way to know what the radar picked up because it wasn't doing that pinging over there, remember? They saw something on radar, but they don't know what, and they're still trying to confirm it all. It's important to point out that this about-face comes only after Malaysia faced tough criticism from family members for not letting them know what in the world's going on and not giving them information sooner. Some relatives of the 239 people on board accused the Malaysian government of hiding facts at best. And statements from Malaysian officials aren't making anything any clearer. Just a couple of the quotes that we've heard today include, and I quote, "There are things I can tell you and things I can't." And another quote, "There is only confusion if you want to see confusion." Oh, there's confusion. Family members say all they want is the truth. However, all that government officials gave them at the briefing today was the last words from the cockpit. Right before the plane vanished, the authorities say one of the pilots said, "All right, good night," like everything was absolutely normal. And then it disappeared. Catherine Herridge is in Washington for us. Are American investigators getting any more involved now?
Well, they are, Shep. The NTSB and FAA are now providing technical assistance to decode the civilian and military data on flight MH370's last known location.
I think there are some radar tracks out there. I think the Malaysians know they have these radar tracks. I don't think they know exactly what they have. And so I think by having FAA and NTSB experts come in, maybe they can get a better idea of exactly what it is that they're seeing.
The jet's transponders found in the cockpit track altitude, speed, as well as location and send out a unique code for air traffic controllers. Once both transponders went dark, seasoned investigators say the jet apparently kept flying and its path would still register on radar, but now as an unknown aircraft. And there is a separate independent data stream of interest to investigators known as ACARS that sends real-time information to the airline about the aircraft's maintenance conditions, Shepard.
So all we got today from officials over there is the last words from the cockpit. What are the details of that?
Well, after a briefing for the Chinese media, reporters were told that the final exchange was routine between the crew and the air traffic control in Vietnam. After the controller said the flight was being handed over to China's Ho Chi Minh City, the pilots responded, "All right, good night." And while the MH370 never made contact with the Chinese controllers, a spokesman for the airline today said they are investigating allegations that the co-pilot let two women into the cockpit, but still they didn't find any evidence suggesting pilot suicide or sabotage that was likely.
We have no reason to believe that there was any actions internally by the crew that caused the disappearance of this aircraft.
And the FAA recently issued this airworthiness directive to take effect in April after reports of cracking in the 777 skin, which could lead, quote, to a rapid decompression and loss of structural integrity. And this recent warning or air directive has clearly taken on more significance given what happened with Flight 370, Shepard.
I'll say, Catherine Herridge, thank